Lord. I've got a lot of things to share with you guys tonight. Last week, I thought that this week was going to be a recap of convention. Go figure. And the more I thought about it, I thought, well, here's the thing. The parts that you missed of convention, you will probably, if you haven't already caught on to them, you probably will catch on to the facts, the details, all the stuff. And as much as I would love to try to help you experience what I actually experienced at convention for the first time, to be honest with you, this was the first time that I experienced something that was like way outside myself as a convention goer. Like, I thought to myself, if somebody's here and is not catching all the feels, as my daughter would say, if someone is here and not experiencing all of this emotion and feeling, then I couldn't imagine it. Like, this year was legit in all the ways that are important to me. I'll hit on just a couple of highlights, and if you're here and you want to put something in the chat that was your favorite thing of convention, please do, because it'll be interesting for people to read the commentary of what was everyone's favorite. Here's the thing. We could have been sitting in the same exact session, and like there could have been 20 different things that could have been your favorite at each session, okay? One of my favorites is that now we, the lean product that we released, our new meal replacement product, that it's going to feed, it's really going, part of the proceeds of each bag sold are going to feed hungry children. And I told a story to Mary Ann. She came up after that session. She came up to me and she said, my eyes were locked on you. She said, I thought of you when I knew we were going to announce this, and I thought, Lori's going to love this. And I was like, oh, like, yes. Oh my God. I couldn't love it anymore. And I told her a story. I said, when I was in high school, I heard this story about someone at a bank who was working for a bank, and they had learned how to like somehow skim pennies off of each account. And that person, just because there were so many accounts and they were skimming pennies a day, didn't get caught for a long time and made themselves a millionaire. And it was like, I remember thinking as a child, I remember thinking, what? As a high schooler, I remember thinking, how is that like pennies a day from multiple people? And it's weird because on numerous occasions since I've been involved with Plexus, on numerous occasions, I've had the thought, there are so many of us that, like Alex says, when you're blessed, be a blessing. There are so many of us that you could skim even a percentage. You could put a percentage number on it out of what we make every month, and it wouldn't make a dent. And to have all of us, it's almost like Plexus gave us an arrow and pointed us all in one direction so that we're making a collectively. Thank you. Thank you. You're going to make me cry. Oh my God. That's the word God gave me for this year, was collectively. Oh my gosh. So yes, it's like all of our arrows pointed in the same direction. What an impact we can make on hunger. And most of us, not all of us maybe, but most of us have never experienced, or at least don't experience on the regular, what it's actually like to be hungry. And as they were releasing this product and telling about one bag does 14 meals. Do I have this right? Make sure I'm not messing anything up. But the proceeds from one bag provide 14 meals for the organization called Feeding America. So excited about that. I couldn't be more excited. So that was one of my favorite things. Every speaker I felt was anointed this year, just like so purposefully selected, whether they knew they were purposefully selected or not, or whether the company knew that they were purposefully selecting these people. I couldn't tell you. But the fact remains, it was so like, wow. Hunger Control is fully released to ambassadors now. Hunger Control Slim, so we're excited about that. I want to share one more moment with you, and then I'm going to skip on to what I told you that the call's about tonight, because seriously, I thought to myself, it's with social media, if you missed convention, it's hard to recap it and really express to you what it was like. The prayer circle this year rocked my world, and that's not part of like full convention. Like not everyone is there, but we had, so far now we're to 14 people who were healed that day at our prayer circle. And I had someone message me last night, and she said, you know, girl, I go to a fully charismatic church with all the flags, and we do all the things, and we're like super, you know, up in it. And she's like, we never experience anything like that where multiple people get healed and stuff. And so I don't know. I can't, like, I was super like, I downloaded that message on my heart, if that makes sense. Like, as I was listening to it, I was like, first of all, I don't know how to respond to it. I didn't respond to that part. I responded to something else she said. But it's just amazing what God is doing through obedience. That's the way I look at it. We had people who don't even believe in God get healed. Isn't that amazing? Another favorite moment of mine is normally what I do. I'm sure many of you who have ever gone to an event with me, you know what I do, especially with Jetty being a board member and the fact that we sit on the front row. The minute it's over with, literally, I have my arm already clutched into my purse, and I beeline for the door. And then I beeline because I'm trying to make it to an elevator before the elevators get completely crowded down. Because if I get stopped by people, I love people, don't get me wrong. And if you're on my team, I really, really want to get stopped by you. I don't ever want to discourage someone from saying hello. But I know I'm going to get stopped anyway. So it's like the quicker I get out the door, the better. But on the last session, on the last day, I looked at Jetty, my introverted husband, and I said, I'm sorry, but there's something in my purse that I want to give to someone. And it was a gift I had for Janice Jackson. And that meant that the door is to the right, but I'm going to have to go all the way to the left and then come back through the traffic. So I'm sorry. And he's like, no, it's no problem, right? So I get down there. She's not down there. And as I'm coming back through the crowd, something happened. Now I'm going to push the pause button and tell you something first. Through the entire convention, we had the coolest DJ. Like when our speakers would come out and speak, like when Alec came out, if you know Alec, if you've ever experienced him at all, you know that the song that they played when he came out, they played the theme song from Cheers. It's like, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Okay. When he walks out to that, oh, Jenny's laughing. I thought he was saying something. I was going to let him say something, but it was just like the most, all of those like songs for some reason were so surreal. And they play that, what is the song? What's the song? What's the song? Is it called Thunderstruck? Thunder something. AC/DC song. When Tarl comes out, it's like, boom, boom. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, well, everybody who knows Tarl, it's like there's funny in the irony because he's like so like calm and collected, but they play Thunderstruck as he walks out. Everything about our DJ was like crazy cool. In fact, they said he's been with us on multiple occasions, but for some reason this year he really stuck out to me. I think they highlighted him more this year. Jetty's talking to me. Hang on. I should say like this. What was that again? He did parties for us. So I feel like when I'm talking to Jetty. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's done like Leaders Retreat and stuff like that for us before. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever paid attention to him, and he was amazing. And so now I've told you about the DJ, so I'm going back to my trying to get the gift to Janice Jackson. It's the last session on the last day, and I bolted to the left, and then I get caught in turtle speed traffic coming back. And had I bolted to the right instead, I'd already been out of the room. Like, we were pretty close to the door, and I would have missed what I didn't miss, which is convention was over. Alita Allen had sang that beautiful Legacy song, which I totally like worship the Lord the whole time she's singing it, whether it's a Jesus song or not. I was like, this is like the most amazing song. I was losing my mind while she was singing. The fireworks on the front of the stage happen, and it's over with. I bolt to the left, and I don't get to Janice. I got to her later, but I don't get to her, and I'm coming back through the traffic, kind of like, well, I missed her, and now we're going to get caught in the traffic. And all of a sudden I hear this song, and I'm like, what is this? Wait a minute. What is it? Like, literally, I'm having this moment. What is this? What is this? What is this? And I start looking around at the crowd, and I see lots of people doing the same thing. What is this? What is this? And I lock eyes with Kendra Randolph, and I know a lot of you don't know who she is, but she's a diamond, total Jesus believer. And we both do this like, what is this? Look at each other. And we're like way, way apart from each other. We can't at all speak to each other. And it dawns on me, the song that I was playing before this Zoom, what a beautiful name it is, the name of Jesus, is playing. The entire auditorium is listening to what a beautiful name it is. And like, we both said to each other, Kendra and I mouthed the exact same words at the exact same time. We both go, what is happening? What is happening? And it was the most surreal moment. Like, I just threw my hands in the air, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. It was just like the perfect end to the perfect convention, everything about it. I know that may just be me. I know a lot of you, it would apply to you, but maybe not everyone would get all the feels of that. But I was just like, I almost missed this moment. We had so many people get up there and, give all the glory to God for their businesses, but you still don't expect it to come over. I don't know why. I didn't expect it to be on the loudspeaker like that. It was amazing. So now that I've taken up however much time of your time I've taken up, I'm going to jump into what we're really on here about tonight. It may seem like a weird topic for tonight. And you may think I'm going to give you a glimpse into my life right now, which is actually not what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a glimpse into my life before I was eating bonbons on the daily. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying? And the reason I am is because, first of all, I did I did a live video last night. If you want to see what my life is like on the daily, I did a live video last night just showing you my backyard, which is this time of day is my favorite time of day. Love to go in the backyard and watch the dogs play, and then the kittens come up and they want to like rub up against your legs, and I love to get out by the hot tub, not necessarily in it. Sometimes I'm in it, but it's all different. I love the fact that we have a garden. I love the fact that we have a tractor. All of that was part of the live that I did yesterday. So if you're actually curious and want to know what my daily life is like now, I'll just say that what I'm about to describe to you is what my life looked like in 2012 with a few brackets. Okay, I'm going to put a few parentheses in there because social media has changed a little bit. So I put the parentheses in so that it could more apply to what we live now. And I want to share that with you because my life now is worth the life I lived then. And I did life back then in 15-minute intervals. And I don't mean that every 15 minutes I was doing something different, but I mean that I took 15 minutes at a time. A power hour is too much for my attention span, okay? So I was doing more of a wake up in the morning back then when I was in the momentum stage of my business. before I was in the stage where I'm just really enjoying. Does that make sense? So I'm hoping to give you a glimpse into what my life was like then, so that you can understand that you can do this business effectively in what I would call the nooks and the crannies. I mean, some people take a literal 15-minute bathroom break. So you can fit this into the nooks and crannies. You know, like 15 minutes in the Starbucks line sometimes. Carpool line. There are places in your life where you're probably doing nothing. And I'm going to give you the best of what I know. And plus, I looked at a list of another leader who I respect, and she gave some tips too. So I'm going to kind of share a collective idea scope, I think is probably the way to say this, of what my day would look like if I were a new ambassador, or if I were a new senior gold ambassador, or pretty much any rank up until the point of diamond, maybe up until the point of late emerald, early sapphire stage, because I wanted the momentum I didn't want the momentum to stop. And if you think that you can listen to this and you think, okay, I've never seen this business as realistic for myself, but now I can see it. That's my hope tonight. So I'm planting that little seed inside your bed. So I'll get into what we're going to do for the rest of the month in a minute, but I want to give you a breakdown of what your morning or your 15-minute intervals should look like. Here's what I wrote. You want a lot of income, but you don't have a lot of minutes. So this first idea that I'm going to share with you came from a friend of mine. She decided that she had a goal to pray for every single person on her friends list, on her Facebook friends list, within a year. And so she decided it would be smart to pray for them on their birthday, which Facebook luckily tells you whose birthday it is. So for example, you could start tomorrow. Even if tomorrow's not a Monday, and even if tomorrow is not the first of the month, that was for my best friend Missy, who's on here. You can still start tomorrow. So she does this happy birthday. I just got texted. By my best friend. Hateful words. You have permission from Jetty. Okay. So what she does is she actually prays for every single person that's birthday is today. And she said, please don't tell people that you're going to pray for them or that you did if you didn't, which to me is like the biggest duh in the world, but I feel like I'm going to say it. But she said, I literally look and she's like, if it's a person I know, I may like pray for their family. Or if I know they have a particular thing going on in their life, I may pray for their family, their particular concern. She said, but every day I look at the birthday list because Facebook is telling me whose birthday is. I pray for them and then I message them, voice message and say, hey, I just wanted you to know I made a goal earlier this year to pray for everybody on my Facebook list. So I decided I'd pray for them on their birthday. So I prayed for you and Kelly today, maybe their daughter. I prayed for you and whoever today. And I just lifted you guys up in prayer, and I hope your birthday is super happy. Something like that. Okay, well, she said she did it for one reason. Now, pause button again. Pause. If you're a new person with the business and you're like, and you're listening to what we're talking about tonight, and you're like, what is going on? Like, why are we talking about this? Some things that may come natural to you, like relationship building or having conversations with people, may not come natural to other people, or they may not know where to start. And so it doesn't make you a bad person to want to know, okay, where do I start? And it doesn't mean that it's not authentic if you want to do this. Now, she said she started wanting to do the pray for people every day thing she wanted to do that in order to pray for every person on her friends list in the year span. And she said what's happened organically is over time, she has conversations going on the regular because people start talking back to her. She said, I had no idea that it was going to happen like this. So she voice messages them. By the way, I took great notes on everything I'm going to tell you tonight. So if you're like, I want to listen, not take notes, I will share these notes. She voice messages them. She tells them she prayed. That's the first part of her 15-minute power hour. That's not a power hour. She does 15-minute intervals like I do. So that's first. She said she's crazy about sending out samples. I'm crazy about sending out samples too. This is one of my favorite things to do. She says she'll post something on her wall. I have samples for 3 people. Tell me why you want to try it, and I'll pick 3 people. So this could be for the Hunger Control or the Joyome. Here is a little tidbit. Only send 1 sample, like only 1 Hunger Control. There's no reason to send 3 or 4 days worth, because this is what you're going to say to these people. So excited you're getting to try this. This 1 sample will tell you 2 things. 1, if you can fit it into your daily routine. And 2, if you like the taste. This is what you can write on a note to them and pop it in the mail. Also, I swiped from another ambassador the cutest little hot pink bubble mailers that are not very big, that are the perfect size for a single stick of Slim, a Joyome sample, or even you could even fit like a 3-day trial in these bubble mailers. And they came 50 for like, I want to say maybe $10. They're like hot pink. When I say bubble mailers, they're literally like that. You look like the mailer itself. It's a hot pink foil color, and it looks like you could actually pop the mailer itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? It looks like bubble wrap. She said, this is a different person. She said, you get these on Amazon. I put the link in these notes. You can mail a 3-day trial with 2 stamps, or you can use PayPal for shipping, and that's great too. Have you ever used PayPal shipping? I have not. But she said literally you can print out a label on PayPal. You can stick it in your mailbox with the flag up, and the mailman will take care of it for you, and it's only the cost of 2 stamps. So you're not taking these bubble mailers. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever gotten caught into this where you're like, gosh, it cost me more to get that to them than the actual sample costs. Like if you go to the post office or to the mailing center and you buy the supplies that they have and then all this stuff. Okay, it doesn't have to be like that. So that information is all in my notes that I'm going to share with you. So the things that you're wanting this person to understand is, hey, so excited you're getting to try this. This 1 sample will tell you, 1, if you can fit this into your daily routine, and 2, if you like the taste. That would make you a fantastic, if those 2 things apply, it'll make you a fantastic candidate for the triplex. By posting that on your wall and finding out who would like a sample, and you're going to pick 3 people, you're going to end up with lots of candidates, more than 3. You're going to go back and you look at everyone who liked it, and you're going to look at everyone who commented, and you can follow up with those people. Lots of names from your list. You can either go ahead and send them a sample, or you can send them a note in the mail, or you can send them a messenger note. Hey, I know you missed out on this, but we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. And you can even send them a coupon for a $10 rebate on any order over 100. You can do a card in the mail or a note on Messenger. You look at the post, see who liked it, who commented on it, and you make a list. The notes in your phone is your best friend if you want to make this business take off for you like a rocket. Making a prospect's note in your phone. Now, I'm giving you details, but this is literally going to come down to there's 4 steps that's going to waste, if you want to look at it, waste 15 minutes in your morning. 15 minutes well wasted, okay? So I'm giving you the details so you understand exactly what you're doing. Let's see. This is a possibility. Letting people try letting people as customers order. Now, this is something I need to actually go in and make sure it still works, but Joyome 1 month and 2 bags of Hunger Control the next month. From what I remember and understand, if they leave the stuff in their cart, add the new stuff, and then delete the old stuff, they'll continue to get their preferred pricing. So they can switch out from Joyome to Hunger Control, and that makes them have 2 months supply of everything. So it's like the month that they're not ordering Joyome, they're ordering Hunger Control, and at any given time, they are keeping, does everybody understand what I'm saying here? Everything is good if you do it this way. If they want some lean, you can throw that in the mix too. With Leaders Retreat Contest, you need 75 PV or more, so keep that in mind when you're reaching out to customers. Or, of course, you can sign them as wholesale ambassadors or ambassadors if they want to work the business. The key to this is follow-up. That's why you're keeping these names in the notes in your phone. You follow up after they get their samples. Put an alarm in your phone. If you go and put a bunch of samples in your mailbox, or you take them to the post office or whatever, put a three days, if it's on a Monday, put Thursday, check in, or Friday, whatever. Give yourself enough time for however long you think the mail runs around your part of the country. Check back in. Just want to make sure you got those samples in the mail. Wanted to touch base with you about that, whatever. Start a conversation. It's super, super goofy to send something in the mail and not follow up with the people. I'm just telling you right now. They expect you to follow up, and they expect you to follow up, and also they expect you to follow up, and it's just poor business if you don't. So don't be like, I feel like I'm pushing them. It's like you gave them something. Of course you're going to follow up. Don't be that yellow. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Don't be that yellow. So far what we've covered, just for clarity, birthdays and samples. Birthdays and samples, birthdays and samples. Next on your 15-minute list is add 5 new Facebook friends. Here is what I do. Do you have people in your life who are super close to you who don't work the business because they're stubborn or whatever? Go to their friends lists and add friends. Your mom, your dad, your neighbor, your best friend, whatever it is that won't, and you go, you know what? I know a lot of the same people that they know, and I'm going to add their friends because they're not working the business, and hey, why wouldn't you? Okay? As you add these people to your friends list, add them to your list in your notes in your phone, the prospects list. You're going to watch their posts, and you're going to interact with them. Make that a once a week practice that you interact with those people. So far, again, to backtrack, we've talked about birthdays, samples, and every day adding 5 new people. Now, if you don't want to do all of this, that's fine. But some of you are hungry right now. Some of you are like, I am tired of being broke. Right? Nobody's going to make anybody do any of this stuff, but you're like, I need to know how to do this, and I don't want to hold a meeting or host a meeting. I don't want to invite a bunch of people. This is the cold market into warm market thing that we're going to do here, okay? Here we go. We're at number 4. You're going to follow up with at least 2 people. Once you've done this for a few days, that part's easy because your follow-up list is part of what you've done in the last few days. Your samples, adding people on your friends list, new customers, follow-up. And last thing of my 15-minute power hour that really only lasts a quarter of an hour is you're going to pick one person you've never messaged about Plexus every day. And you're going to say something like, hey, Lisa, I'm sure you've seen my Plexus post by now. Have you ever tried it? That's the magic message. It starts a conversation, and we're a relationship business. If they don't answer you, then, you move on the next day. It's fine. If you let it hurt your feelings, then shame on you, because I'm just going to tell you, we all got to get by in this world somehow. Or you can message someone and say, I'm sure you've seen my post about this new Slim Hunger Control Slim. I said that backwards. That's coming out. Would you like to be on my waiting list? Because it's not out. I'm just pausing here. It's not out to customers yet. You could still do a waiting list. That means as soon as the product is released to customers, you can be be one of the first ones so you can get your hands on it. If you never tried it, I'd be happy to send you a sample. Or you could say something like, all this is in my notes, by the way. Hey, so-and-so, I know you'd asked me about what works best for weight loss a few months back. Since we have come out with new Hunger Control Slim, I've dropped a pant size. I'd love to get you on the list for when it releases. I'm going to pause right now and just say that one of the people who I had a conversation with right before convention, she was asking me some questions about it. I said, you know what? I think it's probably going to release at convention. Give me a couple days to find out for sure if that's right. I'll get back to you. So I put her in the notes in my phone, and I messaged her before we did this event that we did last night. I said, hey, if you still want more information about that, let me add you to this event tonight. She signed up last night. Now, here's the thing. Do I think I was hustling her? No. I didn't have to hustle anybody. She signed up because, first of all, I messaged her because I feel like, I know in my heart of hearts, this is going to change her life, whether it's the business or the products. I'm talking about regardless of the business. The products are going to change her life. I know that. Anybody who's reaching out to me in regards to products, they've got something going on that our products are going to fix. And I know that our products, Plexus products equal results. We know that. Okay, every single day in my Power Minutes, I keep a list on invitees for any next upcoming event. Okay? I look at the calendar. What's coming up next? I also comment and interact with those that I have on my list. So I'm going to give you the skinny of what we just said. I gave it to you detailed. This is the skinny. If you want to do a happy birthday, you can. Add 5 new people. Follow up with at least 2 by connecting. Message 1 new person. Here's the calculations. If you do that every day, if you take 15 minutes to do that every day, you would have followed up with more than 60 people. You would have messaged 30 new people, and you would have friended. Yeah, adding 5 new people. That's right. And you would have friended 150 new people in a month's time. This takes 15 minutes a day. If you decided you wanted to work it as a power hour and do it 4 different times, the calculations would be 240 follow-ups, 120 new people that you messaged, and you would have friended 600 new people in a month. If you're doing just this simple 15-minute method in the form of an hour in a day. I don't. I never have. I've never done an hour's worth of like, boom. Now, what the rest of my day looked like then and still looks like is sometimes I'll pick up my phone and I'll be like, oh, look, I have a message. And I don't have to wait till the next morning till my 15-minute time comes up. If I want to message them back, I can. Or if I don't, if I want to just do something with my family, I can save it till tomorrow. I have never let this business I have never been a complete slave to this business. I don't believe in that. Jetty and I went through a window of time where we were both working it and we both got lost in the hustle of it. And it was like, whoa, what are we doing? Like, this was a very short amount of time. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? Like, it goes against everything we believe in. Like, screech, put the brakes on. And I'm like, this is crazy. We're going to work I mean, we were in agreement. This was not totally me. We're going to work concerted effort for like short segments during our day. And the rest of our day, we're going to do what we please. And that's what we do. I want to take just a moment and say that on our team page, I've put out the lineup, or I've put out a good idea of what it would take to get to go to Leaders Retreat. Like this many this many that. If you haven't seen that, you need to go look at it. I highly suggest that you do something like a Post-it note method or something that's visible to you to help you reach your goal if you want to go on this cruise. I would love to see so many of you go on this cruise. Love to see it. Jewels as a whole are not getting to go on this cruise. There will be a few jewels on the cruise. There will be some trainers and board members on the cruise. So there you will see some jewels, but in general, there won't be a lot of jewels, which means that the contest is up for grabs for non-jewels. That's the way I look at it. Like, I'm excited. When they announced the way that they were going to do it, I was thrilled to see that you guys are going to get to shine. You guys are going to get to go on this trip. You're going to get to earn these prizes, and you won't even be competing with jewels. It makes it like probably the coolest contest we've ever done as far as I'm concerned. So regardless of how anybody, I don't know how other, like, I don't know how the field as a whole is feeling about it or whatever. I have no idea, but I love the idea of it. I don't know. Does anybody know if Brienne is on here tonight? She may not be. She's a super busy girl, and I don't expect her to be on here. But I want to just tell you guys something really quick, because of the highlights of convention in my head. If you don't know this already, many of you know who Brienne is. She's she's on this team, and she is an exceptional testimony giver when we do our live testimonies. She's the one that she's blonde with about this length hair, and she tells a story about her daughter who had the food allergy. Her husband's a dairy farmer. She's from Pennsylvania. And as a jewel, she is a jewel. Let me just say, she shares information with other jewels. She's completely one plexus. And when they did the announcement to announce the top 7 in the company who won the trip to, what is it, Over Yonder Cay is what it's called? Yeah. This exotic private island that they're going to take 7 people with their guests to be on this island by themselves with just like Plexus executives and such. Kind of sounds like, what? That's like the craziest thing you've ever heard of. But then they picked, was it 6 more people? Total?
Top 7, and then they drew 3, and then drew 3.
Okay. So the top 7 were set. And then they drew 3
They were like rubies
that were from the Ruby pool. And then they drew 3 that were the remainder of the top 30. And they picked the first 2 of the remainder of the top 30. And I just remember just sitting there being like, I knew Brienne Coolidge was in the top 30. And for however many, you got your name in so many times for whichever number you were in top 30, you got your name in more times.
It was top 50.
Okay, it was top 50. She was in the top 30. So they were drawing from the top 50. And when they called her name, I don't know, probably someone out there has me on video. I did this I think I jumped, because I remember my feet hitting the ground really hard, and then screamed. And then I went up close to the stage and then circled back around to my chair. And then I started screaming, "Where is she?" I know that's on video because many people have seen it. And I'm looking to my left and I'm looking to my right, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's in the bathroom or something. Where is she? I'm losing my mind, and my heart is beating so fast. I couldn't have been more excited for something. I don't think I would have been more excited. Literally, I think I wouldn't have been as excited if it had been me, simply because I was thinking, oh, I don't want to go up there on the stage right now. All these things. Couldn't have been more excited for someone than I was for Brie. And I know a lot of you know her, and you know what a great heart she has. And so if you have a chance, you should congratulate her because it is the trip of a lifetime. Whoa, hang on a minute. It's one of those things that you go, you can't believe that Plexus gives away this trip. And they do. So, okay, just a minute. Now, okay, I've given you a glimpse. I told you I was going to give you a glimpse into my day. I gave you a glimpse into my day a few years ago, the first 15 minutes of my day. I kept my business rocking because I kept that going on. You can imagine if you're always adding new friends, if you're always messaging new people, your business is never going to get stale, and you're never going to be like, where am I going to find my next person? How am I going to invite someone to the next event? The next event is the 26th. 26th. But actually, no, that's the next Gut Glam event. Okay, here's what I'm about to do. I'm about to roll out a calendar for you that you're going to get shocked by. This first announcement that I'm going to make only applies to my team specifically because of the group that I put it in. So it's called, hang on. I got to make sure what we called it here. Control, do you remember what it's called, Jetty? Okay. What if this could change everything? That group where we're putting prospects as my team, okay? This doesn't apply to outside my team, so don't go looking for that group. Within the group, I created an event that's going to be tomorrow night. And it's a control over your summer. That's not what it's called, but it's in that group. And it's not going to have live testimonies. It's just going to be an information event. It's going to be very short. I'm going to use a template that Bree has created that covers some of the new products and gives people a summer lineup. Don't be mad or sad if you're missing that event. It's just something I felt like I wanted to do, but there are other things coming up that anybody can join in on. We're doing a kickstart, the Gut Glam event is on the 26th. Now listen to this lineup. On the 26th, we'll be doing the same event that we did last night, which was super fruitful, amazing. If you're a new person or if you're not a new person, I want you to think about what these events are doing. It's pretty, they say people have to be exposed to Plexus a certain number of times before they're ready and willing to just say, okay, yeah, I think I'll try that. Well, these are like fast forward, those events. If you can get someone in one of those events, it fast forwards through several of the times that they need to be exposed to it. And so the 26th, which is a Tuesday night, 2 weeks from yesterday, is the next time we do it. The 27th is the deadline for customer orders for the Kickstart Challenge. Now, here's how the Kickstart Challenge goes. Now, hang on a minute. I want you to understand what I'm talking about here. It's a 14-day challenge. Says, welcome to our 14-day summer Kickstart Challenge. This is the perfect challenge to kickstart your body into a fat-burning machine. This is what you can expect in this 14-day challenge. Kick sugar cravings to the curb, feel full faster, and hangry less. Get weight loss / health tips, encouragement, and accountability from others on the same journey. Learn what Plexus products work best for your body. We refuse to let you buy something your body doesn't need. This group will be a safe place to explore all the products geared to helping you have the healthiest, happiest summer body possible. You are 100% perfect the way you are. Skinny is not always healthy. We want you to start your healthy summer body the right way with the right support and encouragement. You can do anything for 14 days. So what's required? The only customer requirement is the purchase of one bag of Slim Hunger Control. A positive can-do attitude, zero negativity and grouchiness allowed. Water. All participants need to drink half their body weight in ounces of water a day. You can be encouraged. You will be encouraged to exercise every day, even if it's just a walk or anything to get your booty off the couch. Ambassadors are required to purchase Slim Hunger Control and 2 additional products of your choice. I highly recommend Ease and BioCleanse. Well, to be honest with you, I highly recommend the Triplex. I'm just telling you what I highly recommend. I have this in the group, but you can choose whatever 2 products that you want to be on, but you have to order it by the 27th of this month because it starts on July 2nd. Okay? I hope you guys see what I'm doing here. In case you don't see what I'm doing here. I want you qualified by the end of this month, and I want your booty started up by the 1st of next month. I want you trying these products, getting started on these products, getting your own testimony going on these products, and I want you getting friends and family to join you on the hunger control. I'm going to tell you right now, hunger control is a train, and you want to be on it. Okay? So the 26th is our next event. One of the posts in the 26th event will say, hey, we hope you join us for this other thing. But please don't let me be the only person telling people about it. You need to be telling people about it. You need to be telling, hey, at the end of this thing, she's going to offer a prize to anybody who jumps in on this thing. It'll be a good prize. Does that make sense to everyone? Offer a drawing, basically, not a prize. Okay. Drawing for a prize. Also, within the team page, we also have an IPA challenge going on that started today. It's ideas that go along with the IPA I just talked about, the 15-minute thing. So it'll basically be like, here's an idea of, something to talk about on your Facebook wall today. Does that make sense? So when I'm like, if 15 minutes of your IPA is like, one thing you should do is post about something. Okay, well, I'm giving you ideas for the next 5 days we're doing an IPA challenge. Now, this sounds like we're doing a lot of things. And even as I was writing it down, I was like, that is way more things than we normally do. For sure. But here's what I know. Tomorrow night, that event is going to be over with, the tomorrow night event. And in 5 days, the IPA challenge is going to be over with. And then what we have left is the event that's on the 27th that gears us up for the Kickstart Challenge, which starts next month on the 2nd. So it's compacted and it sounds like a lot of stuff, but tomorrow night, half of it's going to be over with. You see what I'm saying? Like a big chunk of it. Hope everyone's following me on that. Now, in case you're worried, I literally have all these notes from tonight's call that I will share so that you don't have to think, oh, I can't remember what she said. That's it. I've said it. If you guys will indulge me for a moment, I'm going to make sure I'm not missing something real important in the chat here. I know there's a lot of chat, but just give me a second.
Somebody asked about the release of
About what? Release of hunger control?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, our very own Don Bishop got his name called out from stage by Alec Clark. I don't know if you guys heard that. I could have fallen over when he was like, Don Bishop is here. He's talking about legacy, and he calls out like 4 names, and Don Bishop was one of the names that he called out. And he talks about basically he has a reason for having been here. I could have fallen over. It's on video. I know Dawn has heard it because I'm like, oh my gosh, Dawn. Okay. Somebody's asking, is it true that all profit from Lean goes to the charity? I don't think so.
No. For every serving of Lean that's sold, 1 meal is provided.
For every serving of lean that is sold, serving,
So that means
1 meal is provided. So each bag has 14 servings in it. So that's full serving. Like, yeah. Every serving of lean provides a meal for someone who is hungry. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh, somebody's saying my sound is not better when I'm not leaning forward. Okay, I'm just now seeing that. Of course.
right about
Yeah, I'm probably talking loud. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting near the end. I'm making sure I'm not missing something super important. Hey, Elaine, I will share my notes from this. Okay, Samantha said, please do not send samples in regular envelopes. Yes, they fit, but the post office will open to verify what you're sending. 10 to 15 samples I sent last month were open when delivered. Also, if you send them in a regular envelope, they're going to stick them through the, they won't go through the thing that stamps them or whatever. I'm not talking about put stamps on them, but whatever it is that like presses down, and the packet will bust open. That's why I was telling you about these bubble mailers. But PayPal, this is something I'm going to try. Okay, yes, Misty, everybody look at what Misty's holding up. It's exactly like that. The ones I have the link to are kind of like foil shiny, but exactly like that. Okay, just so I'm clear, everything I talked about this morning fits in the first 15 minutes. Like, it's not like a whole hour and the first 15 minutes was happy birthdays or anything. I just want to make sure everybody's clear. Like, you can do all of this, everything I said, add 5. If you know what you're doing and you have your list down, add 5 friends, follow up with 2 people, wish people happy birthday, and you can get together your sample. You can do all of that in the first 15 minutes. Or it doesn't have to be your first 15 minutes. I like doing it and then it's out of the way. But you can keep a constant, steady flow, a stream of new stuff happening by doing that 15 minutes. I would say if you're new, I would be doing it 15 minutes a couple times or 4 times a day. Okay. Yes, and it's very important. I'm talking about different things here. If you have somebody who's going to order Joy-O-Me 1 month and then they're going to order Hunger Control Slim, 2 Hunger Control Slim the next month, that way they're never out of one or the other. You make sure that when they go in there to if they're a preferred customer, make sure that they keep the stuff in the cart until they've added the new stuff and then delete the old stuff. That's how they keep their preferred customer pricing. I don't know why it works that way, but that's apparently how it does. Okay, here we go. Okay, Rosemary says, well, here I am saying Rosemary said she said it privately, but I think she said it privately so she wouldn't be announcing it to everyone unless I announce it to everyone. She said that Hunger Control is available for customers now. She helped someone order it today, so I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if it's true across the board or not. So, possible. I'm not gonna announce that anywhere. obviously, and I know Rosemary's not telling us to announce it. So, okay, I want to say something. Elaine said, when the algorithm changed, I know it hurts your visibility if you have a ton of friends and nobody likes or comments on your posts. The way that I keep that from happening is I'm always commenting and liking people's posts myself. When you are if you are a Facebook stalker and you expect people to interact with your posts, that just makes you nuts. Because if you are not interacting with people and all you do is creep other people's Facebook stuff, and I'm not saying this is you, Elaine, I'm saying in general, Elaine, don't be a creeper. No, I know you're not. So if you are interacting with people, they're going to interact with you. And Facebook is going to show them your stuff because you are interacting with them. That is just the way it works. Okay. I'm getting to the bottom of the list here. Except for there are 90 messages. Okay. Somebody said they got it on camera when Bree won and they hear me screaming, "Where is she? Where is she?" I was thinking, oh my God, this would just be the time to go to the bathroom. Okay, okay. Okay. I'm almost to the bottom, but people keep commenting. Okay, Elaine said she's noticed that the people who interact with her post the most are other Plexus people. That's your job as a Plexus ambassador, that you make sure that you are interacting with non-Plexus people. That's the way that you are going to get visibility to other people who are not Plexus people. I understand what you're saying probably better than I could probably represent, because almost everyone who is interacting on my posts are Plexus people, but I'm going out there and looking. Like, I go through my news feed on the regular, and if all I'm seeing is Plexus people, then I know I need to change some things up. Okay. Okay, I'm cutting. I'm like stopping right now because I'm going to pray for us. I was making sure I wasn't missing anything in the chat. I want to say a couple things. The prayer group was amazing. I led with these people got healed and everything, but here's the thing. I've had so many things happen since the prayer group, messages from people that have had things that didn't happen while they were at the prayer group, like specific prayers they themselves prayed, had nothing to do with me or someone praying over them, but collectively, all of us being together, lifting up prayers. Many people didn't even find their answer that day, but have found the answer outside that prayer group, or have had God already highlight to them something that, you guys know that when I'm praying for people, it's usually not about Plexus. When people come to me, when people step up in a prayer line, it's usually about something way more at the center of their heart than their Plexus business. Usually it takes courage for someone to step up and say, "Would you pray for me?" And it's usually about something very meaningful to them. And so we've had all kinds of interesting things. I had someone who, for those of you who ate dinner with us on Thursday night or whatever, you don't know that when I got up from dinner, I followed someone who really is not really even a believer. And I was like, but I think I need to go to your room because she was hurt. She had like literally an injury. And it was the coolest thing because we went to her room, and for those of you who are religious, you're going to like super religious. You're going to be shocked about what I'm about to tell you because I even got shocked myself, and I'm not super religious, so to speak. I went to this girl's room. Jetty and I went to this girl and her husband's room. She had brought my favorite wine. She's like, I brought your favorite wine. I'm going to pour you a glass. Okay. And over a glass of wine with just my hands on her foot. Really not even praying much. Like I told her a few stories, but I just let the power of the Holy Spirit do its thing. She had come with a boot on her leg and on a scooter to convention because she was in that much pain. And while we drank a glass of wine and while I told her stories and held my hand on her foot, God healed her. Yeah. Now, if you get to thinking it had anything to do with me, probably not, right? Would you guess that it probably had nothing to do with me, but the power of the Holy Spirit? She, as a non-believer, I said to her, at one point I was like, how bad is this injury? I mean, like, she's like, well, I pretty much put the boot on to go to the bathroom at night. Like, she wasn't able to get where she needed to go without putting the boot on. And I'm like, well, stand up and walk around on it for a second and see. You know, at one point, like, I'm like holding my hand there. I'm like, I'm like, see if it's better. And she takes a couple steps and she's like, I think it might be better. All the while, me full well knowing and she full well not trying to hide the fact that she was not a believer. But she was being polite. That's the best word I can come up with. She was being polite. And she's always polite. And so we sat back down, had another, like I said, sit back down, let me try some more. And so I tell her a couple more stories, my hands around her foot. And I was like, she's like, my foot's really hot. Yeah. And then she's like, at one point she said, I feel like something's coming out of my toes. It's pulsing out of my toes. And I'm like, yeah, I could feel like my hands were on fire, y'all. My hands have probably never been that hot. I knew somebody was going to get healed that night. But anyway, I said, okay, get up again. And next thing I know, she's like walking. I'm like, okay, this is a good sign. She sits back down and she's kind of in disbelief. And she says to me, is this going to last tomorrow? I said, girl, I don't know, but I think. And she says to me, girl, I'd really love it to last tomorrow. That would be so amazing. How do I make it last? And I said, you need to tell people about it. She's like, okay. And this is just something I've learned recently. So that telling people about it is a huge deal. Well, the next day, I text her husband. And I'm like, how's she doing? And he sends me this video, like they had like just been to Starbucks or something. And she's walking several feet in front of him in just her flip-flops. And she's like darting in and out of the crowd. And he sends me a picture of her from behind, like in her skirt and her flip-flops, just darting in and out of the crowd. No boot, no scooter, doing her thing. He's like, I guess she's doing okay. I said, oh my gosh. I had no fewer than 30 people come up to me throughout convention and say, hey, so-and-so told me what happened. She was telling people. She's telling anybody who, well, here's the thing. She went from being on a scooter with a boot on the day before to the next day she's just running around in her flip-flops like nothing. So, of course, she's telling people because people are asking her, what happened? And she's telling them. She's like, I got healed in my room last night. Like, Lori came up there and prayed for me, and I got healed. I have no idea why I was supposed to tell that tonight, but I was definitely supposed to. So I'm going to pray over us. I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to round this call up. God, I thank you for your providence is the word that I was hearing earlier, and I'm not even sure what that means, but I thank you for your providence, Lord. I thank you for who you are. I thank you for the glory in our lives and that the glory that you have over this umbrella within my team. Like everyone that falls under my umbrella, Lord, that you are anointing us daily. God, that you walk with us in everything that we do, regardless of whether it's with Plexus or just in the daily things that we do, God, that you're pouring courage into us, that you have these seeds that have been planted in our lives and in our hearts since before time was even a thing, before the concept of time was a real thing. We existed in the spirit, and there were seeds planted in our heart, and that God, that you bring those seeds to fruition, that you're always on time, that you're never behind, and that you are always, it's that he will leave the 99 and come after you. He will chase you down. I'm going to tell you what, he'll chase you up into a hotel room where it's just like your foot is hurting, all these things, all these reasons that you've had your whole life not to believe. And he's like, I've been chasing you down your whole life. He will chase you down all by yourself, or you can be all by yourself driving in your car. You can be in a group of people. You can be at a huge crowded convention. And God is chasing you down. I'm going to tell you right now what it comes down to is this word that sounds like a weak word if you don't know what it means. The word surrender just means that you don't continue to try to do everything all in your own power. You know, you say, man, I'd really like to reach up and just, shake hands with heaven on some things and quit trying to do things on my own. God, I want your ideas. I want your supernatural power. I want to be walking in line with what you have for my life, what you have for my family. God, I want to be a mouthpiece for those who don't feel like they can speak. I want to lay hands on the sick, and I want to see them healed. God, I believe that. Like, no one can ever take that away from me. The things I've witnessed, the power that you have, Lord, the power that you express, God. You're amazing. God, I get so excited when I think about who you are and what you mean to us. I just want to I don't want to say bust. I want to just tell the world. I want to tell the world. I want to tell you something too. I had numerous chances at convention to tell about the healing circle, the prayer circle. Had numerous chances to tell people what happened in that prayer circle. People who make me very uncomfortable. People who I knew would be like, what? And every single time I felt God was saying, tell them, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, it was the truth, wasn't it? And every single time I was like, okay, I'm just going to tell. I told it. Didn't matter who was sitting next to me. It didn't matter who I was riding the elevator with. If they would say, hey, they'd say anything that could lead up to that. If I felt God urging me to say, I'd say, you know what? You wouldn't even believe it. We had 12 people healed at that thing. And they would be like, okay, get this. I even had someone tell me at the airport, she said, girl, that last song at that convention, was that not amazing? It was so beautiful. It was amazing. And I was like, it was beautiful. Get this. Did you know that there were a lot of people that got healed? And she's like, what? And immediately you can see their comfort level goes, I want to talk about a song. I want to talk about a song. And I'm like, hey, but I'm talking about the glory of the Lord. You can see people's comfort zone really quick. It's like, I don't know if I believe that. Okay. It's outside my comfort zone too, lots of times, to talk about that kind of thing. And I'm like, it doesn't matter that it's outside my comfort zone. It's worth climbing to the top of a mountain and shouting it from with all my lungs, because look what the Lord has done. People get set totally free, and it's shame on me if I don't tell about it. Tell about it. God, I just ask that you would break fear off any single, like, if you have a room inside your heart that God, you know, like you haven't let God into that room because you're just letting fear control that aspect of your life, or there's some certain area that for whatever reason you feel justified to still let fear be there. We should not be justified in fear. That's just wrong. Fear is not a justification for anything. God, that we would have supernatural courage, that we would hook our arm up to you, you know, like blood type. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing vein to vein. God, that I hook myself up vein to vein. Like if I need a transfusion, I need a transfusion of courage, and I'm hooked up vein to vein with Jesus. The power of the Holy Spirit rushes through my body, that the courage, that seed inside me would come to fruition. Whatever it is, that seed inside you that was planted before you were born, that there is nothing that will keep it from breaking ground. There is nothing that will keep it from fully blooming. Nobody's opinion. Nothing. God, I thank you that you are always for us. Did you know that sometimes you can look at a situation through your own binoculars and you can say, that doesn't really look like God is for us. That looks like something different than that. He sees things from a totally different perspective than what we see them. I have to tell myself on the regular, I have to say, okay, God, I'm going to have to borrow your binoculars for this because I don't get this. What is going on here? Sometimes he'll give you a glimpse as to why things are the way they are sometimes. God, I thank you that as we do our power minutes every day, that you are so thick in the middle of that we can't separate what we do in Plexus from you. Like everything that we do is like surrounded, like bubbled up in who you are. The words that we use, the relationships that we build, the love that we share. You know, all of these tips that I give you mean nothing if you don't do it in love. Literally nothing. If your heart is not about helping others first, then it's kind of it's a journey that the destination is empty when you get there. I've seen this happen to people. Actually, I see it happen to people all the time, that they plug along on the journey so hard that they get to a destination and it's empty and it's filled with marital problems and it's filled with, you know, like a team that doesn't cheer them on and encourage them or whatever. Because it's because of what you reach out with and the way that you work this business and the way that you walk through this business, the journey of it. It's intended to be done in love. If you step on somebody along the way, it's not going to look like the destination you hoped. If you have stepped on someone, you can ask for forgiveness for that right now. If you've ever made an ill decision in regards to this business, or any ill decision really, you can say, you know, I feel regretful for that. And you know you can be completely released from it. Jesus, you are love, the epitome of it. And I just pray that we reflect that every single day. I pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen. Oh, somebody told me Providence. Thank you for sharing that definition with me, and I want to tell you why. This is going to be for somebody too. Somebody said, okay, Becky says providence means the protective care of God as a spiritual power. There's a song that I listen to, Jetty would say probably 100 times a day if I were to ask him. After my brother died, it's a song by Natalie Grant called Held. And it goes like, this is what it means to be held, how it feels when the sacred is torn from your life and you survive. This is what it is to be loved and to know that the promise was when everything fell, you'd be held. Okay. The very first line of that song says, I got to think how it goes. Hang on. To think that, okay, I don't know the first line. It's the line I'm talking about has the word providence. To think that providence, which is what they were calling like the name for God, could take a child from his mother while she prays. So it was like literally someone whose child had died as they prayed for them. Sounds like a morbid song. I think it depends on the season that you're in when you listen to it, because it was like walking through that season, losing my brother as we prayed. What that looked like to me then and how it looks to me now is totally different. Like, I can see it. I still can't see it without crying, but I can see it now so much more clearly with God binoculars. Does that make sense? Like a totally different experience to look back on it. Providence, the protective care of God as a spiritual power. God had a bigger plan in mind than my brother living. I wouldn't know any of you, I can promise you that. And everything that means. Did I say Amy Grant? It's Natalie Grant. I'm not sure what I said. Natalie Grant. It's Amy Grant's sister. So, okay. I'm praying that you guys will take these 15-minute power minutes and make the very most of them. I will tell you one thing that I know for sure. I've never had an income source be more loyal to me in my entire life. I can walk away from this business weeks at a time and only give it 15 minutes a day or something that looks like that, and my income continues to roll in. And that's true loyalty from a business that I worked hard in the beginning. It's literally like, unfortunately, farmers don't really get to see this the way it seems like a farmer. You know, you sow the seeds and later you get to reap it. I don't think farmers' lives really get to look like that, but we do have that. We can go through a time where we don't want to work very much and we don't have to. And this business is loyal to us. We have it. I mean, we set it up that way. We worked hard in the beginning, we were faithful to it in the beginning. And now it's set up to where my main concern is to make it sure that you guys have a chance at your dreams too. Oh. Oh my. I'm just reading a private message here, so. Okay, so power minutes. I'm hoping that my friend Missy Shores can implement these power minutes, 15 minutes at a time. I told her, I was like, you want to be on the call tonight. And she can start it tomorrow, even though it's not a Monday. And even though it's not the 1st, 5th, or 15th. And even though it's, wait, what is tomorrow? Oh, it's tomorrow the 15th. Maybe she can do it for the 15th. The 14th. She said she said, I'm still here. Then she called me party pants, but I think she meant smarty pants. But when I was a kid, I called her Pissy because I couldn't say Missy. We have been friends that long. That's why she probably called me party pants. I know. I'm just jacking with her. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Yeah, it's the best forced friendship ever. She and I, our moms were best friends when we were born. And even though our moms are not really best friends anymore, she and I are, and our kids are. We don't even live in the same town. We live about an hour and 15 minutes from each other. So, okay, you guys have a blessed night, blessed rest of your week. I'll put these notes out there immediately, and I'll get this call out there as soon as I can. The notes have the lineup for what's happening for the rest of the week. If it felt confusing to you, make sure that there's an event for my team tomorrow night within our prospecting page. What if this could change everything? There's that. That's the first thing you need to be watching out for, and also the 5-day IPA challenge. Bye, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to stop the recording at least.